S/4HANA. We already discussed major changes in other areas in controlling. So we are not going into those areas now. What are the controlling area settings, major changes, and basic changes? And now we are going to discuss about profitability analysis. Probably most of the people are aware, what is the difference between account-based and casting-based? Why people were using casting-based than account-based in ECC? In S/4HANA, because of changes in the architecture, SAP is recommending to use account-based COPA. And in S/4HANA, accounting-based COPA is activated by default. If you don't want that, then again, there are some consulting notes available if you don't want that. And again, casting-based COPA is optional. Account-based COPA is also called as a profitability analysis from Universal Journal, and now it is officially calling as a margin analysis by SAP. Um, Many limitations in account-based COPA in ECC. That is the reason people will used to use casting-based. In S/4HANA new releases, all the issues whatever people are facing, they are fixing an account-based COPA, and they are bringing all the features whatever available in casting-based COPA into account-based COPA. So in ECC, it was recommended to use casting-based COPA rather than account-based COPA. Still, it is slow in execution of reports, and there are many limitations in many issues in casting-based COPA compared to account-based. But there are many limitations in account-based COPA. The main reasons were uh, in casting-based COPA, you can execute a contribution margin report with the cost of sales broken down into cost components level for each cost bucket. To get a production variance report by variance categories, to obtain breakdown of individual cost buckets beyond the total value was posted in general ledger. Major concerns with casting-based COPA is the reconciliation effort required to link FIGL with COPA. So normally, during the month end, it will be nightmare for the people whoever is working in finance. Basically, it is very tough to reconcile casting-based COPA with FIGL. So, because to mitigate all these reconciliation issues, SAP is recommending to use accounting-based COPA. Because of this, reconciliation issues can be mitigated. Quickly, I will jump. So just a few points just to make sure that everybody is aware. Just I'm going through this. Operating concern serves as a valuation level for profitability analysis, and we can assign multiple controlling areas to operating concern. All controlling areas must have the same fiscal year variant, though they can have different chart of accounts. Account-based COPA in S/4HANA is mandatory. This will use the same FICO tables. No additional tables are required. So in account-based COPA, no need of any additional value fields, and it will be used only GL accounts and characteristics. And when it comes to advantages for account-based COPA, it facilitates reconciliation with FI directly, shows the exact value of your COGS when you sell lots of your finished goods with a moving average price. So it will directly tally with your accounting. So it makes management to reduce the reconciliation work. And when it comes to casting-based COPA, value fields will be used and characteristics, and advantages are it allows to transfer the incoming sales orders to COPA, allows the value sales with different costing sheets with multiple cost estimates, allows you to work with the statistical costs. So cost assignment object in profitability analysis, the profitability segments. Just I want to highlight these so that everybody can memorize and remember what are the advantages of using casting based in ECC. And when it comes to number of value fields, earlier there was a limitation maximum allowed value fields in the operating concern was 120. Now it is 200. Again, it is not comes by default. If any customer wants to use more than 120 value fields, they have to implement OSS Note 16892. It is not consulting, just people need to implement. And in right now, like the number of characters is 70. Earlier it was 50. I hope. Yeah. Let me jump into slides now. Hope you are able to see my keynote. So here in this screenshot, you can see left side with operating concern settings, like the types of profitability analysis in ECC, like it will allow costing based, account based, and combined. In ECC, most of the people will use both account based, costing based, but account based, very few people will execute the reports because it won't tally. It will not be useful for management reporting. When it comes to S4 HANA, right side, you can see the operating concern settings. Here we have account-based and costing-based. Account-based COPA, now it is called as a margin analysis. It is fully integrated with ACDO COPA table, that is a universal journal, and it will be activated by default. Still, people can use costing-based COPA. It is supported, and it is not integrated with ACDOCA, that is universal journal. The reason is like casting based COPA will use a separate set of fields. It won't use the ACDOCA table. Again, there is no mandatory to use a casting based COPA. It is optional. And again, people can use both COPA, both profitability analysis like casting based and account based. Here you can see there is a screenshot about universal journal at the top, yellow highlighted. Normally, all the fields, there will be around 350 plus fields available in the universal journal. Apart from standard fields, you can use your own custom fields by using coding block extendability functionality. Whenever you add any new field in the coding through coding block, it will be appended in AC.EA table. When I say AC.EA, it is like accounting document actuals. AC.EA, all the actual line items will be stored in this table. And at the right side, you can see a couple of fields starting with WW, that is the COPA extendability. Whenever you want to add any new characteristics in COPA, there are a couple of steps you need to do. You have to create your own characteristic. Then you need to assign that characteristics to the operating concern. Once it is activated, system will generate operating concern on all the dependent tables, whether it is account based or costing based, but it will generate all the background tables, and it will link all the fields. So once you complete adding the value field or characteristics into that operating concern, in the background, system will append the new characteristics in the AC.EA table, and again CE4 as usual, because if customer already implemented costing based COPA, it will be appended to CE4. If they activate, definitely it will be appended to ACDOCA table. Actually, I thought of showing a couple of screenshots. Unfortunately, I thought of showing the system. Unfortunately, it is not allowing me to regenerate the structures. If you guys are okay, then I can show a couple of screens in SAP so that you will understand what I'm trying to speak.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead, Murali. Thanks.
So I'm opening AC.EA table.
Murali, sorry, unable to see your screen, Murali. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Murali.
No, I can see. Oh, just now I can see. Yeah, I can see now. Yeah.
Maybe it may take some time.
Okay, Murali. Just unable to. Okay.
Yeah, now?
No, Murali.
Okay. So here you can see ACDOCA table. So let me go back again and execute it again. If you see here, it is showing 485 fields. Earlier I said 350 plus. It is changing. The reason is like many people will add their own characteristics. The characteristics, whatever they add, it will be appended to ACDoka table. Just I'm collapsing. Here you can see. You can find multiple includes here. If you see here, this include AC doc underscore SI0, Universal General Transaction Currencies Units, GL additional accounting assignments, value fields, mandatory fields for GL, asset accounting, material ledger, central finance, CO fields, logistics. So there are several fields. Since our focus is on COPA, let me open this include. Here you can see there are 3 more includes inside. The first one is universal journal entry fixed COPA fields. Hope you are aware in COPA we'll have some fixed characteristics and custom defined characteristics, etc. So like it will be shown here, the fixed characteristics. Here you can see 13 fixed characteristics. Let me open another screen and just bear with me. Here you can see all the fields. And again, if you go to if you go to extras and click on the fixed fields, here you can see all the fixed fields. You can like few fields you can add and few fields you cannot add. Earlier, this cost center, functional area, and what's the other one, segment, these were not there because of S4 HANA. They added these 3 fields as fixed fields. Earlier these were not fixed fields. So again, I'm coming to ACDoka table. In this include, you can see there are 13 fields here. Let me close this and show you something. Earlier, I shown you that fixed COPA fields. Now, extension includes the COPA fields in the universal journal entry. Here you can see all the user-defined fields. Like whenever people can create any new characteristic, the new characteristic will be appended here. As I said before, like this is we have to follow the standards. All WW characteristics are custom defined, and VV characteristics are value fields. So here, when we create new characteristics WW001, after creation, we need to assign this to operating concern. After adding it to operating concern, then we have to generate the tables. Then system will, in the background, it will append these characteristics to this include, and indirectly it will be assigned to ACDoka table. Again, parallelly, if you activated casting based COPA, it will be appended to ACDoka table. I have done it, but unfortunately something went wrong. I'm not able to activate that. Sorry, I'm jumping multiple screens. Just I will put a little pause so that people can ask questions. Any questions? Because I'm going to cover in detail in the coming slides all the advantages. Till now, I did not discuss anything about S4 HANA, all the new additional functionalities, whatever came. So as you aware, like a CE1 for actual, CE2 followed by operating, here X indicates operating concern. CE1 for XS means XS you need to replace with operating concern. CE1, CE2, CE3. These will be used for casting based. If you activate casting based, then only system will generate CE1, CE2, CE3 tables. Otherwise, it won't generate. If you activate only account based COPA, it will generate only CE4 operating concern underscore ACCT. This is for segments. If you see the second point here, I highlighted the reason is like SAP is changing design for every release. The reason why I'm saying this is like a CE4 operating XXX underscore ACCT, CE4 XXX. Earlier they suggested to use CE4 XXX. Afterwards they suggested to use ACCT. They're changing. So I will tell you the reason why they are suggesting to change this very frequently. But going forward, we have to use only CE4 operating concern underscore ACCT. So COEP table populated for statistical postings. As you guys are aware, actual postings to table AC.K. COEJ will be used for planned postings. This is earlier setup. Now AC.P came into picture. As I said before, AC indicates accounting and the doc means document, P means plan. So similarly, we have another table AC.U that is for group reporting. So all the planned postings will be updated in AC.P. So PS segment table, this is like as per initial design, they said the CE4, no CE4 underscore operating concern underscore ACCT, but now we have to use only CE4. There are a couple of OSS notes regarding that, but I did not put all those OSS notes here. So the main difference between account, couple of points will be repeating because I'm jumping here and there. The main difference between account based and casting based is instead of value fields, GL accounts are used in the reporting. No need to configure value fields unlike casting based. Basically, he's talking about all account based advantages. Account based COPA makes it possible to reconcile with the profitability analysis at each stage of the posting, such as goods issues, invoice creation. This feature was not there in the existing casting based COPA. The reason is like casting based COPA will be updated in different point of time. Account based COPA will be updated in different point of time. That is causing reconciliation issues. The data and COPA can be captured as soon as the documents are posted in F5. So everybody is aware that there's no need of a settlement in account based COPA. In S4HANA, SAP enhanced the COGS account posting so that all level and different heads of expenses can be captured. We are going to discuss this COGS split in the coming slides. This is another nice feature introduced by SAP in S4HANA. This is called attributed profitability segment. So basically, what is meant by attributability profit segment? It is like normally you have when you are posting some accounting postings, you will not enter any additional characteristics. That is the reason we cannot, though you are making some postings in accounting, those characteristics will not be available and you cannot use it in the account-based COPA reports. Here, just I will show you the example, then you can understand, then I will jump into configuration. For example, here, the left side screenshot, you can see settlement rule for the internal order. For example, we are making some accounting postings for expenses, some expenses. It is not relating to logistics or ESD, other areas, purely finance postings. You are using cost center, either internal order or cost center, whatever you want. For example, here we are using internal order. When you post internal order, all the profitability segment details will not be updated. If you see here, like most of the people might be worked in internal order accounting, internal order postings will affect only internal order. It won't bring any additional characteristics, but we need characteristics in account-based COPA. Whenever you use reporting, you have to have multiple characteristics so that you can slice and dice and execute all the reports. In the left side screenshot, you can see we have a settlement rule for the internal order. In the settlement rule, what we are giving is we highlighted customer, product, company code, and plant. Okay. And the right side screenshot, you can see account postings like debiting computer supplies. And we are using internal order 200-101 as a cost object. And we highlighted profitability segment is blank because normally since we are using order as a real object, there will be no profitability segment. Because of the attributed profitability segment, system is deriving and updating ACDOCA table with customer product product, company code as usual, and plant, etc. If you see the bottom screenshot, you can see customer, product, product sold, group, country. These are the fields derived based on the setting whatever you have. For this, you need not execute settlement rule. Whenever you post accounting document, that is enough. If you have already settlement rule created and all the entry aids in the profitability segment is already updated. So I'll go back and just read it. Now you can understand a bit better. An attributed profitability segment is determined based on the fixed logic. At the same time, a GL item is generated. So like whenever you made accounting postings, that is enough to reflect them in the COPA. You need not do settlement. To enable future detailed analysis, user need to fill as many characteristics in the item as possible. The reason they why they are asking you to fill whatever characteristics, it is like if you have more number of characteristics, then you can slice and dice in the COPA reports. So here example, costs are pulled from various sources into an order throughout the period and settle at the period end. When costs are settled from an order to a profitability segment, the granularity of the amounts and the details can be lost. Additionally, from a timing perspective, details are reflected in COPA only when the order is settled. With the attributed profitability segment feature, order attribute data flows to COPA with each transaction as well as at settlement. So you need not wait till month end like doing settlement. Still, once you make accounting postings by using the central order, it will be done. You can see all these characteristics in the ACDOCA table and you can execute the reports. Quickly, I will go into SAP and
Only one question.
yeah, go ahead.
Is that the characters will derive based on the derivation rule? Is it any kind of like when you're posting an accounting document, we are given that internal order, but AC Docker table, it is updated with the product number, product sold group, country, etc. detail.
Yeah, it will be based on the derivation rules and entry aid. Probably you might be aware there will be entry aids created for FI postings. In the entry aid, normally we'll give all the default values.
Oh, okay, 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 got it, got it.
My God. What happened to this? Just bear with me a sec. Bye. Okay, the reason why it was not displaying is like it was selected as a casting based. Now I found the reason here. This is a new configuration. I already shown that path here. So now we can have this attributed profitability segment functionality for cost centers, internal orders, projects, sales orders, production orders, maintenance orders, and service documents. Earlier, service documents was not there, and it seems some customers they need it, and they raised SAP consulting notes. So they provided consulting note. Afterward, they added this functionality in support packs. So it came now. And the only difference between all these cost objects is like for internal for except cost center, all the other cost objects will allow both profit and loss account and balance sheet accounts. If you see here for internal orders, let me try to enter some value. Okay, I'll pick 100 order type and I will use this balance sheet. So this internal order type will have the settlement rule. In the settlement rule, we'll give whatever we need while doing settlement, and we can add all the characteristics whatever we want, so that when you do settlement, all characters will be populated by default. And all the internal orders, whenever you use this internal order as a cost object, all the characteristics will be derived and it will be shown in the accounting document, and in the background it will be updated in ACDOCA table. If you see cost centers, here this is based on the cost center category. And for this cost center category, it will allow only balance P&L accounts. It won't allow balance sheet accounts. If you see production orders, again it will allow P&L and balance sheet accounts. So again, this is just a screenshot, whatever we discussed now. In this screenshot, you can see I kept internal order ES001 internal order type, and which will allow both P&L accounts and balance sheet. If you see the first order type, that is 0100, it is allowing only P&L items. The right side cost centers, cost center category 9, marketing category, it will allow for P&L accounts. So whenever we make any postings for this cost center with that cost center category, all these characteristics will be defaulted, attributed. So this is again, yeah. Now we'll jump into another functionality, top-down distribution. So the people who ever worked in KE COPA might be aware what is meant by top-down distribution. Basically, like there will be direct costs and indirect costs. For example, you incur any material for material cost for producing a product, then it is direct cost, and it will be derived from a cost estimate, and there will be no problem. For example, if you have some insurance cost, forget about identity cost, those functionalities for the time being. I'm talking about purely FI expenses, insurance cost, or some other admin costs, anything. So it would be tough in COPA to distribute and to segregate based on some object. Like for this division, we much incur this much, and for this office we incur this much, and it is very tough. So for that distribution purpose, people will use this top-down distribution functionality. This most of the people is aware about with the transaction code KE38. I mentioned KBA 2236046. Basically, this KBA will guide how to use and when to use, what to use, what are the parameters. And earlier it was there only for casting based. Now it is available even for account based. Again, here if you see, I did not highlight, but I will tell you what I'm trying to say. So for example, company code, functional area, segment, business area, for those fields, only copy value is activated, but it won't allow summarize value. But there are some restrictions, like you cannot summarize the values, but you can copy the values. And if you open the KBA, there is one wiki which will nicely explains what is top-down distribution. You can go through that. So next functionality is realignment. Any questions? I will put some pause here. Okay, if no questions, then I'll go into realignments. It is popularly known as KEND. Most of the COPA, most of the transactions are very famous, and people will remember with the transaction codes. This is a realignment KEND. Just I will give a brief idea what is meant by realignment. For example, you have some divisions. Okay, you are executing some profitability reports, whereas as part of reshufflement, the division moved from north to northeastern. So it's like earlier we have only 4 divisions: northeast, southwest, but now they introduce northeast, something like that. So they want to move that division, all the customers in that division into northeast. If you want to move, it won't, normally it is prospective, but in COPA, it is possible through realignment functionality. That is we can move that those customers from northern region to northeastern region, so that all the historical data will be updated, moved from north to northeastern, and when you execute reports, it will be corrected both in historical data as well as current data. So this is just a screenshot I kept. Right now, this realignment functionality is available even for account-based COPA. This is a bigger change, I can say. And most of the times, this realignment functionality cannot be used for lower level people. It will be should be done very carefully. If you do some mistake, then it is very tough and it's very difficult to recover. The only thing is yes, there are some possibilities to reverse the realignment, but again, for doing reversal of realignment, reset or reversal of realignment, there are some pain points. So we need to be very careful when we do realignment. In the top portion of the screenshot, you can see selection condition. There you can see AC-doc A. AC-doc A followed by AWORG. That is reference argument, and it clearly indicates earlier those were not there. Now these fields names are the characteristics are available. It means it will allow for even for account-based COPA as well. Let me quickly open this in SAP. I hope time permits for us. So these were the settings, these were the fields I was talking. So again, here there are some restrictions, like you cannot use this functionality. For example, you have a company code. Can you do realignment for company code? You cannot, you're not supposed to change the company code, right? For all the postings, whatever you made, it won't allow in AC-doc-A table. Basically, this realignment will work on CE4 table when you use casting-based COPA. And you cannot use these type of fields, and there will be conversion rule. If you see here, there are a few fields which are highlighted in blue: bookers, sales order, sale order item, COFIN, controlling area. These are the fields you cannot do this realignment. If you see here, the message is showing not all the characteristics can be changed. Let me open this, and probably it will guide more, like it will give more inputs here. Just for, I'm reading this. Each operating concern contains characteristics that cannot be changed using realignment. These characteristics include org units, company code controlling area, quantity unit field, sender document fields such as sales or service order. So you cannot replace with a fixed value, or you cannot change anything for these fields. And it will allow few fields. Let me select cost center. Okay, for the time being, I'll select internal order. You guys can see the warning message it is showing. Characteristics often order is only realigned if not filled. See the long test. It is giving warning message. So why it is giving warning message? The reason is like if you change any cost subject, it will be problem in doing reconciliation because it won't match with ACDOCA table, because ACDOCA you cannot modify, but CE4 table, yes, you can do changes, and you can when you do this realignment, it will be updated in the CE4 table. Then there will be a discrepancy between ACDOCA and CE4. That is the reason it is giving warning message. So it is like a customer's own risk whether they want to add it or not. Still, it will allow. Okay, now I will take some other field, some custom field I will take. Okay, I'll take product here. These custom characteristics what we created. See, for this, for adding this field WW002, this is our own characteristic. For this, it is not giving any issues. And again, there is a check mark here. This is newly introduced in S4HANA, like a rederivation of ACDOCA characteristic for attributed line items. Earlier, we discussed about attributed line items. Even for those items, we can rederive the characteristics. So any questions in realignment? Okay, if no questions, then I will go into next topic. This is like the people who have worked in COPA might have seen many incidents created by business. Okay, my KE that is very slow. Why? What's going on? It is taking 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, like that. It's going to dump after 2 hours. Constantly, people will get this type of incidents when you work in casting-based COPA. In order to fix those issues, normally there is a functionality called summarization. So you can do summarization. When you do summarization, system will create some, there will be summarization levels normally suggested by system based on the usage of the reports. Like for example, person A is executing KE30 report, COPA report by entering some selection parameters. Person B is also executing with a different selection parameter. Based on the usage, system will automatically suggest us like what are the regularly used segments, so that we can create summarization based on that one, those segments. Then it will be easy for the system to understand and get the data quickly. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time and it will go to dump most of the times. Because of S4HANA architecture, basically HANA architecture, we have AC dossier table, line item table, but still this is very fast because of columnar storage. There is no need of summarization. Basically, that's what SAP thought. So here it is saying KE-Q7 and sorry, my bad, I need to take out. KE-Q3 is replaced with KE-Q7 in S4HANA. Let me go into SAP. I'll show. See, we are getting a error message when I type KE-Q3. It is giving profitability segment characteristics not supported in finance add-in. If you see the diagnosis in SAP Simple Finance on-premise edition, the settings for profitability segment characteristics are not supported anymore, as each profitability segment contains all available characteristic values. Processing is terminated. For example, if you already have casting-based COPA activated, then you have done some other thing in S4HANA. That time you can see those segments, but not after activating S4HANA. So
that means the summarization is completely removed.
Yeah, I'm going to tell.
There is no need at all.
Oh, no, I'm going to tell about that. Initially, what SAP thought about, like there is no need of summarization levels. That is the reason they removed this. They removed totally.
Okay. Okay.
But later point, what SAP understand is like what SAP understand is like there are still so many issues and people are raising so many concerns, especially retail industry. If you see the retail industry, you can see lot many transactions. Like for example, say Costco or Walmart or Sam's Club. You can see many transactions. So it will be difficult when you execute reports if it is a mobile industry or a mobile manufacturing company. For that it may be more, but still it is less compared to retail industry will have more number of transactions. For them it is difficult. So again SAP decided to have summarization for in S4 HANA, basically for ADOCA, so basically for account based COPA as well. That is the reason they brought back this functionality and they replaced KEQ3 with the KEQ7. So here you can do summarization on any field, whatever field you want. I'm just thought of showing the screen. That's the reason I selected something randomly. So you can do summarization. I selected only one field, but you can have multiple fields, and you can give summarization only for whatever company codes you want, so that it will be done only for those fields. If you remember earlier, I discussed about CE4 operating concern and followed by ACCT. This is just a screenshot I kept. Just quickly, I will go back. So this is the one I was talking. Initially, SAP thought there is no need of summarization. That's why they said instead of there is no need of ACCT. But later point again, they introduced this CE4 underscore ACCT. This will support summarization for account-based COPA. So this screenshot I already shown, and so earlier we discussed.
Thing I'd like to understand. See, earlier we are working on summarization in ECC right now.
Yes.
Since it is for HANA, everything goes on fly.
Yes.
And the system is very fast. So, why they have reintroduced it again?
That is the reason I gave you example of a retail industry, because in retail industry it's like transactions are numerous. It will be very tough to handle even in S4 HANA. That is the reason it is not mandatory though. Still, if any customer wants, they can use it.
Okay.
It is not like before. Okay. Who is that? It's a in fact nice question. Who's that?
Anandingo.
Yeah. Thanks, Anand. So this is the next topic in COPA. Someone please monitor the times. I did not see how much time left. Okay. So
it's completed 1 hour, so still we have, I think, more time. Yeah.
Okay. So another beautiful functionality is commitment and incoming sales order. Hope you guys remember, like earlier we used to do all the configuration for currencies and everything in OB22. Then SAP introduced the FinSC underscore ledger. There we can create new currency types and we can create our own ledgers. We have different types of extension ledgers. We already discussed in previous sessions, like we discussed about simulation ledger, we discussed about a prediction ledger. Again, this like in casting based COPA, we can bring all the data from all incoming sales order. For example, we created sales order today, but we may do billing after a month or two. Then it is like postponing the revenue, and it is tough for the business when they execute reports what could be the revenue. So if they have casting based COPA, they can see, okay, even in incoming sales order based on the condition type, we can assign it to value field. It will be shown in the casting based COPA. Now, Since SAP is suggesting to use the account-based COPA, it is not possible in account-based COPA. That is the reason SAP introduced this new functionality. We need to create a separate ledger for this predictive accounting for incoming sales order. If you see the top portion of the screen, there's a ledger called ZP, commitments and incoming sales order. I just kept the name as like that so that we can identify. And ledger type is extension ledger. And extension ledger type is P. Always we have to use P for these type of ledgers. And always these extension ledger should have underlying ledger, that is 0L, and you need to select the valuation view. It's a legal valuation. The bottom of the portion, though you activated extension ledger, it won't be updated automatically. So we need to activate this in the COPA, that is profitability analysis. If you see the left side navigation path, the flow of actual values, transfer of incoming sales order. Earlier, like we used to assign value field, quantity fields, I think KE4I or some other transaction, activate transfer of incoming sales order. Now we had to activate predictive accounting for incoming sales order. And it is activation at controlling area level, and you can give the from which fiscal year. For example, in the future, if you don't want to use this functionality, you can deactivate. So another beautiful concepts brought into casting-based COPA, from casting-based COPA into account-based COPA are COGS and production variances split. Just one sec. One sec, guys. I wrongly skipped a valid slide. That's why I'm just reopening that. So this screenshot, this is basically comparing casting based with account based COPA. Maybe I don't know whether people can recollect or not. This is a beautiful example of how account based COPA looks like and how the casting based COPA looks like. So for left side, it's divided into three parts. Left side, you can see that is a casting based COPA in ECC and S4HANA. Basically, there are no changes in casting based COPA. That is the reason we have that slide in the front. If you see, observe, first column is value field. Basically, these casting based COPA reports will be executed based on the value fields. Maybe in layman's terminology, you can say multiple GL accounts can be mapped to GL account or something, but it's not really true. Just I'm giving example so that you can understand. If you see here, sales revenues, that is 2,000,000, and sales deduction 200,000, and net revenue 1,800,000. So that is net revenue, and we have the variable cost, material cost, labor cost, material overhead, and production overhead. Then we are getting cost of goods sold, that is COGS. After COGS, we have some variances, like when you do production order settlement, all the variances will be updated in the COPA. You can see all the list of production variances, which is amounting to 28,000. Then the gross margin is net revenue minus COGS minus variances equal to your gross margin. Basically, most of these reports and profitability analysis will be based on the contribution margin. So that is the contribution what we can see. Basically, revenue minus COGS indicates the contribution. Most of the decisions in COPA will be taken based on the contribution margin, because while calculating contribution margin, they will consider only the variable cost. Fixed cost is sunk cost always. So they won't care about how many units to produce, whether to buy or sell. For taking decision making, always we have to use contribution margin. So in this is a beautiful functionality available in casting based COPA. That is the reason people are using and loving this casting based COPA. In fact, as a finance guy, I love this casting based COPA. Okay, so that is about casting based COPA. If you see the middle slide, that is account based COPA in ECC. So as you know, like account-based COPA is nothing but a P&L account, you can say, based on the GL accounts. You can see the header is account description amount, you have net revenue, and you are deducting all the expenses, COGS, production variances, research, marketing, and sales and distribution expenses. You are getting the net margin. If you see, there will be no difference between net margin in casting-based COPA and account-based COPA. But sometimes it is tough to do reconciliation. This is just an example, that's why it's easy. Otherwise, it is very, very tough to do reconciliation. But again, there are some tools and there are ways to do reconciliation. Then let me jump into third slide. That is account-based COPA in S4HANA. Account-based COPA means always it is based on the GL accounts. You can see the difference between a second set and third set. In the third set, the blue highlighted the blue highlighted amounts or rows indicates the cost of goods sold. Earlier in ECC, account-based COPA, it was posting to one account, one single account, and now it is splitting similar to casting-based. Earlier, this functionality was not there. So if you see the blue dotted line, there it is showing from casting-based COPA to account-based COPA in S4HANA. The blue line is a COGS split, and the similar way, the orange one is variances, production variances. So production variances, normally it will hit one single account in FI postings. Because of this new functionalities in account-based COPA, you can see them separately. We are going to discuss in detail about this. Any questions here? Even any questions, it will be clarified in the coming slides. So just I will repeat whatever I said, like cost components and variance categories flow to casting-based COPA, but do not flow into FI in ECC, regardless of whether we use casting-based or account-based profitability analysis. With S4HANA, margin analysis, which is built on account-based profitability analysis, enables cost component breakdown and variance categories to be posted in FI. Ensure that casting run is executed and prices in the Metal Master are up to date. Without having Metal Master updations and casting run execution, this won't show in FI also. So now we'll discuss about COGS. It is short form for cost of goods sold. In ECC, casting-based COPA enables visibility of various cost components in profitability reports. However, in FI, only one line item is visible in COGS. Maybe in the next slide, you can understand what I'm talking. The right side in S4HANA, with S4HANA's account-based COPA, different cost components can be mapped to multiple general ledger accounts. So it is like in ECC, it is a single ledger, but in S4HANA, you can assign multiple GL accounts. With S4HANA margin analysis, cost components can be mapped to multiple general ledger accounts, a feature that was not available previously in ECC, even when using casting-based COPA. What is trying to say, whether you are using casting-based COPA or account-based COPA, it was not reflecting in multiple GL accounts in ECC. It was hitting only one GL account. Now you can have you can see those COGS split in separate GL accounts. So the people who loves accounting definitely love this accounting entry. I just kept accounting entry, like when you post PGA, post goods issue transaction with the moment type 601, it will debit a COGS account and credits inventory or finished goods account. So everybody knows, like when you post a cost of goods sold, that is COGS, transaction key will be GBB, and account modifier will be VAX. And again, for inventory, BSX. I'm not going to discuss about that, just I kept those screenshots. The moment type will be 601. So the new accounting treatment, if you see, the first two sets, like COGS, that is OBYC debit, and it is debiting with $100, and crediting with inventory finished goods, that is $100. So this is normal accounting entry. There is nothing great in it. It is like when you do PGA, you can see accounting entry. This is the entry normally you will have. you can see this how system is deriving this COGS account. You can see in OBYC going into T030 table by giving the transaction key and account modifier, you can get the GL account. That is fairly straightforward. And there's no change in inventory. That is BSX, nothing. The second portion, bottom portion, you can see like whatever debit, that is the first line item, cost of goods sold OBYC, that is $100. It is debiting in the first set, and that down below it is crediting. The reason is like it is splitting the $100 into 50, 30, 20 with 3 different accounts. Any questions? Okay. If no questions, then I will jump into configuration because I kept screenshot. I'm not going into SAP. So it is like a 3 steps process. And again, the screenshots, whatever I kept is, I don't remember whether it is 1909 or 1809. I observed a few differences between 1809 and 1909. I don't think there is a big changes or anything in 2020. I hope you guys are aware about 2020. Let me tell you one thing here. Earlier, for on-premise versions, SAP used to give number as 1609, 1709, 1809, 1909. That is year, 2 digits followed by month. That is September 09. So that was the nomenclature they were following earlier. From this year onwards, they modified it. It is called 2020 now. So 2020, 2021 like that. Okay. So if you see the configuration, COGS split configuration, it will be in financial accounting. Sorry.
Year-wise, they are going to release the version.
Yes. Even earlier also they were releasing yearly for on-premise. The thing is the number will be like first 2 digits is a year and second 2 digits indicates a month. Now they stopped using that and they are using year only, 4 digits a year.
Okay.
So if you see the COGS split configuration, this is under finance, not under COPA or profitability analysis. If you see here, IMG, financial accounting new, general ledger accounting new, periodic processing, integration, material management, define accounts for splitting the cost of goods sold. So here first and prerequisite is like we need to have a cost splitting profile. That cost splitting profile, we need to assign it to controlling area and chart of accounts. So once you create cost splitting profile and assign it to controlling area chart of accounts, then you can click on the left side source accounts and valuation views. There, you can see the source account, that is inventory change COGS account. That is nothing but whatever you have in OBYC, that is GBB transaction key and VAX account modifier. The same GL account, you need to give it here. If you give different account, it won't work. So you have to give the same account, then only it will work. So the third step is target accounts. Like earlier, like we have system used to allow 40 cost component splits. Anybody remember how many cost component split right now SAP allows? Okay, no problem. I think it is 120. I think we discussed in the last session. So here in the target accounts, we have to give cost component splitting profile. Then the second column is cost components. Here it is showing 10, 20, 30. But earlier it was allowing 40 cost components. But I remember like I worked in one chemical industry. Even for them also it's almost 35 cost components. But I don't know which organization, which type of industry will use 120 cost components. And you need to assign the target accounts here. When you do this PGA, system will create two GL documents. You can see the top portion, 49 zeros and ending with the 29, one account document, and 30 is a second document. in the document ending with 29, you can see debiting inventory, debiting COGS and crediting inventory. And if you see the right side, like COGS is crediting and debiting all the cost components. If you see here, like 99, 00, 10, 20, 30. So just 1540 euros is splitting into 3 cost components. So now it is visible. If somebody executes any reports, they can see, okay, these are the cost components. Again, this is just a sample screenshot of ACDOCA table. Here you can see the first screenshot, first set of documents, like ending first two are line items for first document. Next 4 are belongs to second line item. The business transaction RMWL is a regular one. The second business transaction TBCS is a COGS split. It is newly introduced in S4HANA. Earlier it was not there, the business transaction type. That is the reason, like bottom right side, I kept that business transaction description. So like 1540 is COGS, and it is splitting into 3 buckets. And bottom portion, you can see all the characteristics derived for that. Nothing great in the second screenshot, but what you can see is like posting keys 9981. But when you open this COGS split document, it is a regular accounting document 4050. It won't use 99 and 81. 99 81 will be used when the document has done, when PGI has done, not with a split. So another set is production variances split in FI. It is similar to COGS, but again, variances will play a vital role in taking business decisions. So if it hits one single GL account, it will be difficult to see, well, okay, what was the reason, how to interpret the variances. Is it input variance, or is it a mix variance, or output variance? What is the variance? So it will be difficult. So you need to have visibility, since now it was available in casting based COPA, but again in ECC, when they activate account based COPA, casting based COPA, they can see that variation only in COPA documents, not in FI, because it was hitting one single account. So now, because of account-based COPA, they brought new, because of S4HANA, this is a new invention. They brought production variances into finance. So again, this is a price difference account, transaction key PRD, and modifier is PRF. So variance calculation, just I want to read this so that people can recap when system will calculate the variances. The variance calculation will happen only for the completed orders with the status DLV means delivered, TECO means technically completed, or both. Such orders qualify for variance calculation. System calculates variance between target cost and actual cost. This is the standard behavior. WIP and variance calculation do not post any financial entries. They merely calculate the amount of WIP variance to be settled. Financial postings occur when the settlement transaction is executed. It is like in the period end closing, normally we'll calculate WIP. When you do WIP, system will check all the order status and it will calculate WIP, but it won't post any accounting postings. Then as part of period end closing, people will business will execute variance calculation. They will system will calculate variances, but it won't post. It will be updated, but it won't post in any accounting entries. When you do settlement, then system will post all the financial postings. So normally these variances can be analyzed only in controlling. Because of S4HANA, it is hitting GL account. So we can analyze these variances in FI as well. So there are few prerequisites for this. Unfortunately, we can say it has some limitations, though they are saying prerequisites. It is like produced materials are valued at standard price. Variance calculation is run for production or process orders. Order types and their corresponding settlement profiles are defined to allow variance calculation. PS transfer structure, profitability accounting transfer structure is defined. So again, in the bottom, you can see the configuration. It is under F5. It will be just COGS split configuration and production variance split configuration will be at the same place. Similar to COGS split here, price difference profile need to be created, and it should be assigned to controlling area and chart of accounts. Again, here we need to have this detailed price difference accounts. You can see earlier we used to do this in the COPA, but now we are doing in finance because we want these changes happen to be in finance. That's why we are doing all these changes in finance. And one thing I would like to highlight here, you can have as many lines, that is whatever required for variances, you can have multiple. The first one, I'm talking about the middle screenshot. That is input price variance, and there will be variance categories. So based on the variance categories, you can assign different GL accounts for each variance category. PRIV variance category is for input price variance. QTYV is for input quantity variance. There are many variances, input, output variances, and we need to have one default variance here. If you see the 90 remaining variance REMV, we assign some GL account here 5207 8000. That is default. We need to have one default variance. The reason why we need this is if system is unable to find any correct GL account, then it will be default. The difference will be posted to here. For example, the variance category, what is not listed here comes, then system is unable to find and it will throw an error. So in order to mitigate the risk of this, SAP come up with a default option. So if it is unable to find valuation category, based on the default, it will post to remaining variance always. And again, we need to assign this price difference profile. It is splitting to it is similar to splitting variance. Sorry, not splitting variance, COGS split profile. We need to assign it to company code, and we need to validate from. But the only one difference between this and the COGS split is I think a COGS split can be activated from one fiscal year. This is from year, if I'm not wrong. Let me see. No, I'm wrong. Sorry. So here I kept 4 screenshots. So first left side, first one is order. When you open order cost values, there you can see goods issues, confirmations, overheads, goods receipts, and settlement. If you see here, the order balance is a 0. That is TTL actual, 0 balance, and variance total is 48.70. I don't know where's the euros, or yeah, it is euros, 48.70 euros. And the bottom portion you can see accounting document. Accounting document is posted with gain production variance 48.70. That is, if you see the transaction type, you can see PRD transaction type. That is the variance. Okay, and it is splitting between 2 types of variances. You can see the right side, we have 2 types of variance. Right top corner, you can see the settlement of orders, sender debits, settled values, sender debits, settled values. There you can see RSUV, that is resource usage variance, and REMV, that is remaining variance. So the total amount is 48.70, whereas that resource usage variance is 48.79 credit, and there is a debit of remaining variance. It's an 0.009. That is so net is 48.70. And the right bottom corner, you can see what are the types of variances and what are the GL accounts we assigned. Since we have resource users variance and remaining variance, it is picking those GL accounts 99, 4060, 9930, and it is debiting or crediting based on the type of variance, and it is nullifying the variances posted with the transaction type PRD. If you see here, this is the screenshot in S4HANA, and this one is in ECC. Earlier also, because we are doing in production order settlement and we have the balances, everything, and settle values, the second middle screenshot, that is also from production order. And bottom portion, you can see the accounting document. So earlier it was hitting only one GL account with a transaction PRD, that is 10.23 euros. Since we do not have that functionality that time in finance, so it is hitting only one account. But you can see the same in COPA. When you open that COPA document, there you can see input variance you have 304.54, and remaining variance is 0.004 euros credit, and in total that's variance is 294.35. Sorry, my bad. It is input variance is 304.54, and remaining variance is 4, and usage variance is 294.35. Total is a 10.23. So, okay. So if business decides which COPA they want to use costing based or they want to use account based. Okay, if they are implementing S4HANA, what will happen if they don't want costing based? If they want to implement only account based COPA, how they will execute the reports, whatever they used to execute in costing based? So again, I'll just read so that you can understand. A customer moving away from costing based COPA to account based COPA margin analysis has to start building account based COPA data from scratch. Here I would like to add a couple of points. So earlier, as per plan, SAP planned to stop services in ECC from 2025. Now they extended to 2030. So if some customer decides to use account-based COPA, maybe they can start using now in ECC, both account-based costing based. When they start implementing S4HANA, by that time the data will be built so that they can use, because if they have account-based COPA, they can use all this, and when you do migration, all these will be updated properly, and all the derivations, everything will be updated, all the characteristics will be derived, so that when they start using account-based COPA in S4HANA, they can use it. Biggest challenge is historical data of costing based COPA cannot be converted to account based COPA. When I say cannot be, it is there is no standard solution. It doesn't mean you cannot do that. It means SAP is not providing any standard solution. Probably we can use some utilities to do this, and some third-party tools available for doing this. The costing-based COPA history has to be stored outside SAP HANA, possibly in a BW system. There is an option to activate accounts-based COPA prior to moving to S4HANA. This would enable history data built up prior to migration. However, such a strategy requires careful planning, possibly years before the actual migration. The reason is there is another option that is not listed here. People can use both the costing-based COPA and account-based COPA. They can migrate everything, even in S4HANA. Maybe they can acquaint with account-based COPA. Maybe after a couple of years, they can stop using costing-based COPA. There will be because of that, there will be no disruption of business needs. Maybe I'll put a little pause here. We are done with COPA. How much time we have? Okay. Any questions?
How many slides are for costing?
Sorry, sir.
How many slides are there for the balance?
We have a few, but it may not be take much time.
Okay, then fine. Then please.
So So till now we discussed all the areas except product cost. Satish, I think you need to go on. Okay. Yeah, good. Thank you. So now we are going to discuss about data changes in product costing and material ledger. Hope you guys might have seen many wikis or YouTube videos that there are much changes in product costing. I'm not going to discuss all this in detail. It is just I will tell you at the high level. So material ledger is mandatory in S4HANA, but not actual costing. I'll just if you see the right side screenshot, like because of changes in the architecture, most of the fields, most of the tables are gone, and most of the tables data is updated in ACDOCA table, especially for material ledger, like it is updating in MLDoc and MLDoc CCS. MLDoc is like a quantity, values, actual bill of materials, everything, and cost component splits will be updated in MLDoc CCS. If you see the left side, there are many summarization tables. So everybody is aware, like all the index tables and summarization tables are gone because of new architecture. They're no longer needed. And some other tables which are specially designed for material ledger are combining and updating in one table. That MLHT, MLIT, MLPP, MLPPF, MLCR, MLCRF, all these are dividing into MLDoc table. It's a single table. So like as I said before, like in material ledger is mandatory with S4HANA, but not actual costing. How to differentiate? Okay, for example, if you go into some new client and you want to see whether they are using actual costing or not. For example, they are using S4HANA. Okay, that is fine. Okay, in S4HANA, whether they are using actual costing or just the activated material ledger. What is the simple way of checking? This is a simple way. You can open Material Master, and in the accounting one view, you can see price determination. If the price determination is set to 2, then it is means material ledger activated. If it is set to 3, then it is actual costing. Again, one more setup, like material ledger setup, like previously in ECC, SAP used to default material ledger type 4 zeros. This is not available in S4HANA. When it was available in HANA, like we need to have currency translation from FI to CO, in addition to manual translation. Whereas in S4HANA, this currency translation from FI to CO is disabled, and we need to select a manual. This is the only change, and probably once you migrate from ECC into S4HANA, you won't find this default ML type, because most of the people will use a default ML type 000. So before doing data migration, we need to see this is one-time affair, and you need not do these settings again and again. This is another settings, like the people whoever is using actual casting. This is called casting closing cockpit. Casting closing cockpit. It is like if you see the left side, there are several steps. Normally, it will be executed by business folks, and it will be very tough for them to fix and execute separately for all these because it will take a lot of time. Though they execute in background, it will take a lot of time, and those highlighted 3 steps, they are combining into one. If you see, this is S4HANA casting cockpit. You can see 4 items are combined into settlement, like a single level price determination, multi-level price determination, and revaluation of consumption. These 3 are combined into one, that is a settlement. That is the third one. And the people whoever worked on product costing, forget about material ledger or actual costing, regular costing run, that is the product costing. Here you can see we have structure explosion. This structure explosion is combined into selection. Earlier there were 6 steps, now it became 5. The reason why they put this here, they combine this step into some other place. It is in the selections. That is the reason they removed that from the main selections. And now in S4HANA, again, like if you work in product costing, if you do this casting run, like people will schedule background jobs, or else like they will execute manually in the test mode. They will analyze all the issues and they will fix it. Then only they will do is it will take a lot of time, especially during the closing. So now SAP come up with a repeat casting run feature. If you see the frequency, monthly, weekly, or yearly, something like that, and you can see the drop down. If you open that casting run in CK40N, normally it will allow monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, and it will reduce a lot of burden for the business folks. So instead of entering all the values, they can use it. I mean, though it is easy to copy, but still it is cumbersome job for them. Instead, they can use this feature monthly, and they can do this. And now we have this start date and start time and pause execution after these selections. So this is another transaction used in Material Ledger, like transaction CKM3N. In S4HANA, like reduce the number of columns on multi-level variances, and again, cast component split is included in the same view. If they want to use different views, normally business people, what they will do is like they will keep open two screens for doing the same. It's like one for one view, another for another view. So it was tough to do for them. Now it is because of to overcome that issue, they combined everything and they kept it in one screen. So these are the transaction codes. Probably you guys might be aware what are the transaction used for WIP variances settlement. Because of S4HANA optimized to work with S4HANA table structures, they introduce a new transaction ending with H. Ending with H means it is a HANA. So I'm not going to discuss anything here because just I kept a table. So planning. So with this, we are done most of the changes, and planning we have very less. Again, earlier we used to do planning at various places like GL planning, profit center planning, cost center planning, internal order planning. There are several places now because BPC is a part of SAP. Earlier it was separate license, but still now also it is separate, but we have to pay fee for that. Still it is easy. So SAP is suggesting to use BPC. If you don't want BPC, you can reactivate old planning option by using the note. And there are several reports available in Fiori. So single planning solution with the strengths of current solution and real-time access to master and transaction data for modeling and variance analysis, flexible drill down on drivers of profitability, including customers, product geography, and channel. Identification of trends and forecasts using predictive analysis, seamless integration of planning screens into SAP HANA workflows, end-to-end simulation capabilities, pre-built planning models for accelerated adoption, cash management planning is possible, consolidation capabilities, no need of other tools such as BCS or Hyperion. BCS or Hyperion used for consolidation because of group reporting, there is no need of those other tools. Basically, in S4HANA, this analysis of Office will be useful for executing reports apart from Fiori. And SAP is delivering workbooks like earlier, like we used to do configuration. For example, if you want to do planning for 1 or 2 cost centers, that is easy. For example, if you want to do multiple cost centers, it's like we have to enable Excel functionality. It is like most of the consultants are not aware about how to extend that Excel functionality because it needs some groundwork. So earlier it was not delivered directly, so we have to do many configurations in order to do Excel planning. But now SAP is delivering all the workbooks by default, and it will be easy. It is just like you can download a report and upload. With this, like planning is done. Just let me check if anything I missed. Yeah, just I missed this one. Benefits of COPA and S4HANA. Like universal general table AC dossier, single source of truth that everybody is aware, no need to discuss about that. Extensibility, only one table to be enhanced. That is like earlier, if you want to add extra fields, then it will be cumbersome job. Not only BSEG, if you are using some other tables, then you have to extend everywhere. But because of this S4HANA, you can use AC dossier. That is a single place. You can do enhancement extension. FI, CO, and COPA integrated by default because of single source of truth, and all the reports will be data will be extracted from AC dossier. This is integrated by default. There is no reconciliation efforts required because it's fully integrated. Because of profitability attributes, because of that, whenever we use any cost object, all the profitable P&L line items will get all the profitability segment by default. Reduce the need of settlement and hence faster period in closing. As I said, as we discussed before, because of attributed profitability segment, you need not wait till month-end settlement. You can execute the report there. You can see all the attribute system will derive all the attributability profitability characteristics. It will fetch from ACDOCA table. And BI replication not required. Reduce interfaces and any questions? Okay. Limitations of COPA and S4HANA, limitations with COG split, because we already discussed what are the limitations, and assignment of statistical SD conditions, that is directly not possible. Limitations with realignment, we already discussed about this, and incoming sales order, we can achieve this with indirectly, like predictive ledger. Periodic evaluation still not available. So other features and innovations, Fiori for better user experience across devices. Maximum cost components allow increase from 40 to 120. This is the important feature available. And this is one of the Fiori screenshot. Like when you left side, you can see in ECC, like when you execute KSB1 transaction, that is display of cost center line items. What is the selection parameters? So if you see the right side, this is the Fiori screenshot. It will be looks same. There is no change, though you are using Fiori Launchpad. And output is showing output in both ECC and S4HANA Fiori are same. So we already discussed this Finesty _ ledger, that is for ledger and currency types. Material ledger is mandatory with S4HANA. Cost elements are now embedded in GL account. COGS breakdown by cost components can be posted to FI. Similarly, production variances. Account-based COPA is a preferred solution in S4HANA. So this note, maybe you guys can go through this OSS note, like technical changes in material ledger with actual costing. It will give more inputs to you. So any questions?